Alright, hi guys, Dr. Tati here and welcome back to Doctor's Gaming. Let's check if it's all fine. I think it's all fine, I think it's all good. Nah, you're not gonna die, are you sure? Maybe triple would be better for you, Chugga, just in case. Alright, how are you guys doing today? It is finally here, I am finally ready. It is our one-shot adventure known as Ghost of Saltmarsh Year B Treasure. I hope you guys are all ready as well. I have a few pages open today because I've got a lot of things to do. We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some admin before we start this adventure because I've got a few announcements to make before we we go into this. Oh damn, Doc, she wants what? Oh boy. You wish my death. Oh no, 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 no one wishes death. Well, maybe, maybe, who knows? But we will start off with the announcements that you will see in the description. I'm going to call it that I've got a new sponsor. It's just something that I realized while I was looking through Keymailer. Was that I can have affiliate codes. I've got a few affiliate codes in the description below for a few games if you're interested to buy those games. I actually do not have any music today, and I just realized that. Give me a second, guys. I just realized I've never even added any music into this. This is gonna be a little bit annoying. We want to add this to the game. We want to add that to the game. We want to add that to the game. Oh wait, no, I already have. There we go. Let's get some music going. That was it was a joke. I see Lilith and Bob right under you. You do see Lilith and Bob right underneath me. And if you go to Twitch right now, you can also see Lilith and Bob's characters. I've got an overlay there in Twitch that you will be able to click on and check out a few of their things. This is a little bit loud. Where do I go to make this a little bit softer? I would like to make this a lot softer actually. Age of Sail, there we go. I want to make this softer, 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 softer. There we go. So yes, that is the first thing I do want you guys to check out. First part of the admin stuff is if you go to Twitch, although Twitch is being weird, you'll be able to see their characters in overlay for D&D Beyond, and you should be able to click on them, see active health and active things happening as the stream goes along. That's an awesome feature that Twitch has. I can already see myself making so many mistakes, but mistakes is what we learn for. Exactly. Also, we're going to quickly go through my sponsor, like I say, is I've got affiliate links to games that you might be interested to buy. If you guys haven't got those games just yet, it's some of the upcoming games that's coming out next month, as well as a few games that I already own. For example, our favorite whole wide game in the whole wide world, Bioshock the Collection. You can click the affiliate link and I get a percentage of that game if you buy it from Greenman Gaming. As you can see, Bioshock the Collection is on sale right now for $13.50, which is actually really cheap for 3 games. The other game I do want to show you guys is, of course, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This one's not on sale at the moment, but we're going to be playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider real soon, as soon as we finish Spyro the Dragon. So I'm looking forward to that. The other ones is, of course, Borderlands. Borderlands 1 is on sale for $18, so about $10 off, as well as Borderlands 2. And I'm not sure about that one. You'll have to check the link, but because that one looks like a DLC, but we'll see. I've also got a few other games that I'll need to check my description quickly what I have, but I know it's Conan Exiles. Nope, that's the wrong computer. I know it's Conan Exiles and Dead by Daylight, which is coming out next month. The DLC for Dead by Daylight is coming out, which is going to be Stranger Things. I've got an affiliate link for that. You got Borderlands 3. Oh, yes, you've got Borderlands 3. I know you've got Borderlands 3. As well as Tropico 6. Tropico 6 is a building game, basically. I've got a link for all of those games, so make sure to check those out. And if you buy through Greenman Gaming, I get a percentage of the commission. So it's just, if you guys are interested, something new, something awesome, and something I think you guys will like. Alright, that is part 2 of everything I need to tell you. I hope that Tomb Raider won't need a wet counter. To hell with that thing. It might need a wet counter, who knows. I was told it needs a wet and a mud counter, so it's going to be a combination of both, but we'll definitely just call it mud counter anytime she gets wet, because apparently they still have that obsession in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Alright, then just to get Vinyl up to date again on Lilith's character, we're going to quickly go through her spells. So if you don't know, this is Lilith. This will be the main character. We'll introduce her in a second when we get into the game. But she's got 6 spells she can use, right? 2 are cantrips, so she can cast those at any time as an action. So actions, bonus actions work a little bit differently. I'll explain to you guys how that works when we get into any sort of encounter or sort of something like that. Don't worry, it's not bad. But she can in-game use Mage Hand. She can use Mage Hand to do a lot of things, right? So this is just a spectral hand that's created. It's a floating hand that appears close to you, within 30 feet of you. The hand lasts for about a minute, and the hand vanishes if it's more than 30 feet away from you. You can use your action to control the hand, and you can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial. You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. So you can tell me anytime, I want to use Mage Hand, and then you describe how to do it, Vinyl. I'm also going to give you a lot of opportunity to describe things. So while I'm describing, you can tell me anything you like, and then I will tell you how it's going to work in the description. It's simple. It's not going to be too difficult. Prestidigitation is the other thing you can cast at any time, and it lasts for 1 hour usually, but it's an action. This is a spell that does a lot of things, that does a lot of crazy things as well. So you can see here's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things it does. But basically, you create a harmless sensory effect such as shower of sparks, or a puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odor. So you can choose one of these 6 things, right? You can make puffs of smokes, you can make musical notes or odor, or you can light or snuff out a candle instantaneously. You can clean or swell an object, so you can clean yourself, or you can make something else dirty, or in 1 cubic feet. That doesn't really matter. I'm pretty good, decent at describing. Great, it should be fun. Yeah, I think we'll do really, really well here. You can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. So water, you can non-living material. Yeah, water, food is not non-living anymore. So you can flavor your own food, which is great. You can make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or a surface for 1 hour. Or you create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand and that lasts until the end of your next turn. So this spell has got a lot of things. If you ever want me to repeat those things, just tell me, and we'll go through those. Then you also have to remember these 2 spells you can do at any time. You've got these 4 spells with 2 slots, which you can use as well, which is Charm Person, Cure Wounds, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and Thunderwave. So Charm Person is literally what it says. You attempt to charm someone using your wisdom modifier or your charm skills, I think. It must make a wisdom saving throw, blah 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 blah. Otherwise, but you have to remember that you don't want to fight a person when you try and charm them. You want to try and charm them when you're not fighting them. You can cure yourself at a cost of 1 of these slots. You can use a piece of tart or a feather to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which makes someone laugh and fall on the ground if they fail their save, someone or something. And Thunderwave, you can push things away from you. So remember, just try and be careful with these first level spells because you've only got 2 slots for them. But other than that, I think you'll do fine. You've got normal attacks. With your claws you can attack, or you can attack with your fists as well, seeing as you don't have any weapons. But I think you'll do fine. If you're ready, I am almost ready. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds. Go back to that screen in a second. The starting soon screen, and we're gonna cast our minds. Whoa! Thank you for that. Let me check what's going on there. Thank you a lot for that. Hey, thank you for the host, Val. How are you doing today? Awesome seeing you on Twitch's side. You will see on Twitch's side, again, this is a reminder, on Twitch's side we've got an overlay today to show you guys some of the interesting stuff that's happening there. So you should be able to click on the 2 characters that we have and see what they can do. It's a little bit weird, but it's worth it. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to prepare. I'm going to switch the music off for a second. Where is Monsieur Music? I've got too many screens open today. And yes, you guys hopefully forgive me if I do make mistakes, because obviously that's what this is about. It's both for me to learn and for you to learn. So I'm sure we'll be just fine here today. I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, I think now that we familiarized ourselves with the way it's going to work, I can calm down. I was like talking way too much over there and way too quickly, but that's fine. Now I'm calmer, now I'm here, now we are ready for Ear Be Treasure in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh setting, our first adventure. So, as you heard the music of sails, I want you guys to set your mind to a ship. Not a ship in a thundering ocean, not a ship being attacked by monsters and creatures, not even a ship in the middle of the night or in danger necessarily, depending on who or what is on that ship, but an entertainment ship. A cruise ship by the name of Macbeard's Delights and Desires. It's currently sailing from Neverwinter to Saltmarsh uh, for the express purpose of, well, entertainment. It is and has been commissioned by a gentleman known as Gillen Primewater. Gillen Primewater is a merchant and ambassador for Saltmarsh and is currently being hosted by Captain Macbeard and his wife, Janet. Although she does not really respond to Janet. They've got a few crewmen, right? Captain Macbeard and Janet are halflings, both of them, and most of the crewmen are halflings as well. Halflings are like the Hobbit, like hobbits. That's basically what it is. And they have been commissioned by Primewater, who loves hosting parties and extravagant events in his mansion back in Saltmarsh. He's been searching the Forgotten Realms for unique acts, special foods, and exotic wines. And his newest fancy and prized act is a troupe of performers who have been traveling from coastal city to coastal city, performing, dancing, and singing in the style that can only be described as island breeze. Yeah. Primewater plans to introduce the little fishing village of Saltmarsh to the main performer, known as Hula Girl Stella. She's a cat person from a faraway land, and his hope is that her performance would inspire the other council members and fisherfolk to finally open the mining operation the dwarves in town have been shouting for weeks. Hula Girl Stella, of course, has other plans and ambitions, and does not really care for such trivial matters like politics and some stinking townsfolk. Her thoughts are currently on untangling the knot of the ball of yarn that she has in her hand. She's like, yeah. She's sitting in the room of this ship, and she's fiddling with this ball of yarn. She's also got a few other things on her mind, but before we get to that, I would like our main character to describe herself. So you can start describing this cat person while I give you guys a bit more of the setting. If you are still there, Vinyl, you can start describing Hula Girl Stella. The way that you imagine her to look like, and imagine her what she's doing on the ship at the moment. While I go to this screen over here and do a few maintenance things. So you guys will see the ship for the first time. Right, let me just zoom in here, zoom in there. There we go. So this is the room that Hula Girl Stella is in. I'm here, no worries. Good. Yes. I always start stressing when chat gets really quiet. But yes, this is not a bad looking ship. It's not the best ship you've ever been on, and you've traveled quite a few cities having this coastal tour of yours. Your troop are well known sort of throughout the land, not in many places, but at least where you've stopped by, you've had a few performances. Now I'm going to ask you, after describing as well in a few seconds, and hopefully when Cloudbot is awake, we're going to do our first roll of the night to see how some of the performances went. But yes, you are currently in your room playing with this ball of fur. We'll give you a short picture. Like you said, we've got a picture down below, but this is Hula Girl Stella. I would love to know what she's wearing and how she's acting right now. I'm loving the music, by the way. Alright, I was pressed the wrong button. I'm remembering that I've got like several screens to open, so you guys will have to forgive me if I do have like several screens going on at the same time. But that is how this works, especially for me. Alright, but this is also the first time that I think a few people have tried to do something like this with their viewers, so it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. While you're describing Hula Girl Stella, I also want you to think of what she's going to do next. You can... she's sitting in her room. It's midday. It's not that hot, it's not that cold. It's one of the nicer days on the sea. Right, Hula Girl Stella's well-groomed, black and white tabaxi, lady dressed up in unfortunately not too fancy clothes. She was always been a rather greedy person who only looks out for money. Yeah. And in fact, she has made quite a bit of money in the last few performances. She's hoarding that money somewhere in the not so fancy clothes that she's wearing. She's got her stage performance wear, but she's not wearing that at the moment. She keeps those in a few places and with a few of her troop. We don't necessarily know who all of the troop is, but she doesn't keep all of her best clothes on her all the time because she doesn't need to show that. Busy practicing her musical tennis when she gets distracted by her yarn ball, which she can't resist, so she tries to untangle it. Yeah, she's, like I say, she was getting ready for tonight's performance somewhere in Saltmarsh. She's not sure exactly where. She hasn't spoken to Galen Primewater just yet. She's met him one or two times, and she knows that he's currently up just above her, busy talking to Captain McBeard and his wife. But yeah, she's untangling. Is there anything she would like to do? While you think about it, I also would like to have 3 performance checks. So I'm going to go over to her page here and describe to you what a performance check is. These will constitute what she's been doing. And I don't think Cloudbot is awake just yet, so I'll make those checks for you. But this is performance, right? So it is charisma check determines how well you can delight an audience with music, dance, acting, storytelling, or some other performance or entertainment. So this is going to be the result of how your previous performances was. The one in Neverwinter, the one in Everender, and the one on the sea last night. The one in Neverwinter was the one that Galen Primewater had seen. So let's see. Let's see how this roll goes. So what we're going to do here is going to do a performance check plus 3. So that's a d20 plus 3, which is roll d20. Ooh, I have to remember not to press that button. because I have to stay on my stream. D20 plus 3. And this will be... Oopa. So the first performance in Ever Ender was a 9. 9... The crowd almost got into your performance. They didn't pay as much, and you'd hoped they would pay a little bit more, but unfortunately that first performance was not the best. You were nervous, they were nervous. Of course, the second one in Neverwinter was at least much better. That was the one that Prime Water had been to, and that one at least piqued his interest. And of course, he'd never seen a cat before. Yay! As she tries to fix her bolt, she thinks about something she could do to cure her boredom. Her mind swings back and forth between doing a little musical act for the crew or trying to charm a member of the crew. Ah, alright, so which is it that you would like to do? You are free to explore, as I explained to you, and see how the final performance went. The final performance you can type in for us, so I want you to gamble 230 for me and see if a Streamlabs is going to work for us today. But this is, at least I want to give you the chance to get in a roll, because I've already rolled for your Ever Ember performance and your Neverwinter performance. This one is the final performance you had last night with the crew, and which Captain McBeard and Prime Water had seen. So let's hope it works. Gamble 230. Let's see if that works. Come on, Cloudbot, wake up, Cloudbot, wake up. Seems to work. There we go. 690. 690. I have to convert. 690. That's not exactly what we want, though. We want below 230. Oh, you rolled a 72. Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place. That seemed to work. Yeah, that's not bad performance. It must be the nerves returning again, or it's a thought of home. You'd heard that voice from the Cat Lord again, and that distracted you for a second. But I mean, Prime Water's already paid for you. Prime Water's already seen you perform, so he's making the best of what he's got. He can't send you back now. You are a few miles away from Saltmarsh, in fact. So you are about to arrive in Saltmarsh. So he didn't look as happy as he was the first time, but he's accepted that you will outperform when the time comes, right? So let's see, what would you like to do? Is there anything you would like to do? So alright, I should probably just redo this. There we go. You're listening to the quiet waves, and you're breathing, wondering what you should do, knowing that you've got Chum Charm, some ability. You could perhaps go and convince him to maybe. In the end, her mind settles on charming a man, as she has been looking for a pretty face to be potential husband, and aside from that, she adores the attention. Alright, so is there any particular man you're looking for? I mean, so far, you're the only cat person on this vessel. You're the only tabaxi of your type. You haven't seen many in your travels. You'd hoped to go to a few places where there are, but unfortunately not. You've heard rumors that there are at least a few other beings other than halflings and humans within the Saltmarsh area, but you're not sure. You've met some of the crew here. Not most of them are halfling. Galen Primewater is human, and of course some of your troop. You've brought 1 or 2 cat people, but unfortunately they're too young for you. And then you've got your companion, Bob, who you could also go talk to. You've got the chance to go and charm someone at least. There's no one in this room at the moment. You can roll an investigation check to find anyone on the ship that might be good. So investigation is a d20 plus 0. This is looking around for clues and making deductions of certain things. You're going to try and figure out if there's anyone of your type here on the ship. So I want you to roll or gamble 200 points for me, please. Since you've got so many points, we at least can do this. Then I'll take you to a certain area. As you walk out of your room, you see a little bit more of the ship as well. You know there are a few members here and there. They're mostly halflings, mostly a human, and yeah, that's about it in this ship. But the open air, the salt, the seaweed, the smell of the sea is intoxicated. 36. Oh no. Oh. Oh. True, I got plenty. Yeah, exactly. You got plenty. You've got plenty of things to do. Unfortunately, you don't get too far before you are stopped. Stopped by your friend and compatriot, true believer in what you do and how you do, our friend Bob. Bob runs out of this door over here. Let me just show you. He ran out of this door over here with what appears to be a few rocks in his hand. He's like, Lilith, darling, I've got something to tell you. I've got something to show you. Now, Bob is wearing construction gear. He's got this hat. He's got this overalls. He's got this green plaid shirt, got green pants, and he's excited. Now, you've never heard him this excited before, and you know that he changes his style most of the time. But when he's here on the crew with you, he goes with a, oh darling. He's always trying to get you pretty and great for performances. He's trying always to also make new ways to improve your act. So at the moment he's just fiddling with this, almost fiddling as much as you are with your yarn ball. He's fiddling with these three seemingly ordinary rocks, and he's like, darling, please take these, and next time we do the performance, you could do a juggling act. What do you think about that? Juggling, or maybe throwing? No throwing. No, we don't want to throw the guests. I've just been able to make these. I've just been working back there, and these would be perfect, not to hurt anyone, but to distract them enough so that one of us can sneak up and get, some good things. What do you think? What do you think, my darling? Yes, so you and Bob discuss things a little bit as you hear the voices of crewmen moving about in the ship, voices from above, knowing that you're getting close to Saltmarsh. I'll leave the next part up to you as you two discuss. He hands you these rocks. I want to check a few things. I just want to double check. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah. Excuse me. Now, I don't know how far the delay is, but I don't think the delay is too bad. No, the delay is not bad at all, actually. Got the sneezes. Ooh, that was close. There we go. So you've also got some of the rigging over here, the stairs that go up to each of the upper decks. This is the main deck. You've got the upper decks going up here. You know that when you go down these stairs, you go to the lower decks. But Bob is seriously distracting you at the moment. Got the halfling crew around, but they're not going to help you very much. What would you like to do? At first she thinks Bob's might be out of his mind, but even she hears the idea. She says, "May actually work, dear Bob. We shall do that." Alright, darling. Next time you perform, remind me to give you these stones. I have to first, No, you have to do my special thing. I have to first get them to shine. Anytime you need me, I'll get them to shine and I'll throw them to you, okay? I can do 1, 2, or 3 stones. But it's up to you. Tell me how many stones you need, and I will just chuck them at you, okay? And then you do what you need to do. And he gives you a little bit of wink, and he runs away again. And runs back to his station that he usually works in. He is the way he walks and the way he does is quite crazy. He just goes. Oh, was it the door? No worries. He walks not with his hands forward. Well, he walks with his hands forward a lot of the time when he tries to interact with objects, but he also walks with his hands backward. He's got no real control over his body. It's one of the things you enjoyed when he was. Thank you for the lurk, Val. It's one of the things you enjoyed when he first saw your performance and he joined your crew. He's got at least some kind of movement. I actually want to see how much he moves and how he moves. But yeah, you've got freedom to do what you would like to do next. I just want to get Bob to make a little bit of a... Let's make an athletics check, which is not bad. But at least now he's out of your hair, you can go and search for what you need to. You also know that you're looking for a wizard with secrets. Now, you haven't heard anything from this, and you're not too sure where you're heading, but you know that you're looking for a wizard somewhere, somehow. But that ball of yarn back, your charm is back. Still got that man to look for. And yes, Bob definitely has got the body to move. The last time you saw him move on the tables during your performance, even though last night's performance wasn't as good, he was up and down those planks like no one's business. He enjoyed the heck out of that. Okay, so I'm also getting used to. I'm used to having people tell me directly what to do. We listen and we talk to each other. So this is a delay for me. I'm also gonna get used to the delay. It should be fine. It should be good. And again, while you're typing, it is all fine. I've thought of hopefully everything. I'm not sure if I've thought of everything, but I've thought of hopefully most as we can. But I can't force you to go anywhere you don't want to. So it's up to where you would like to go next. Lurk. Need a quick checkup? Join me anytime I do a quick check. Pew 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 pew. So you can hear crewmen are all over the ship. Again, you know that Prime Water and the rest of the delegation are at the top behind you. You see just in front of you the person sailing the ship. Another one of these crew members. He looks. What's this? Why? What just happened? All right, I can't do it that way, can I? No. What has happened? Let's just double check. I'm on the right page, right? I've got no issues. Stream. Open the page. Oh, right, it's on this. There we go. That was why. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. So, all halfling, beardy, angry-looking people. Not your type at all, I'm sure. Alright, Lilith decides to spend the little time she has to look for that man of hers. She's never had big interest in halflings, but now she has she longs for that attention. Alright, make me another investigation check. So that is roll another 200 for me. Gamble another 200. Exclamation points! While I look something up. What's the matter? Chagga, what's the matter? You got nothing? Ah. Oh, you want to start the heist? I don't know why the heist is not working. Alright, 59. Still distracted. Unfortunately, I'm hoping the rolls will get better. I might need you to either get, I don't know how we're going to do this, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like any of the crew here. You might have to start searching in town for whoever it is, which I mean is getting closer. It is not that far to town. Um, you can still charm anyone you'd like to. You know of a few of the crew members here. You know uh, Alden Lavinia. You know McBeard, although he's married to Jeanette. That's the way she prefers to be had out with. I said nothing. Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering what happened. Why is that doing it, by the way? It's a little bit weird. Gamble 1000. Ooh. Well, you won 1000 points. Nice. At least that's working. But heist should also be working. I'm not sure why that's not working. Yeah. You know Merak. Merak Euphemia is... He's a little bit shy and he's a little bit content with just sitting down in the bilges, feeding the stuff that's growing down there. He's got a bit of a weird appetite for the stuff that is growing down there. I'm not sure what it is, but there are a few things in the ship, in the bottom of the ship. You haven't gone down too far, but they didn't look very appetizing when you went down. Of course, I got the guy that is steering the ship at the moment. Although guy is an interesting term. Uh, he said you've spoken to him. I mean, you can go talk to him if you want to. Pew pew pew. I can't get enough of the doc. Remember, I can't test. Tiago, unfortunately, I can't test out any of this, so I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, Lilith starts stomping in anger, hating that she isn't getting what she wants. So she decides to just go for the best option. She has decided to go for Marik, despite his odd ways of having fun. All right, let's go to Merak. So you head down into the bilges. You walk past some of the halfling members, busy restocking. They all go, I miss. How are you today? Uh, Lovely weather we're having, huh? You see Brian with his scratched eye, his fisherman's hands. You see he's definitely the cook on the ship, but he's lost a few claws, a few fingers. Definitely not what you're wanting to look for, but you greet him anyway. Um, Walk back down through what appears to be the supplies that has been ordered by Gillen, as well as a few other supplies that the ship has to offer. They have a few wine barrels and a few other things, but unfortunately, yeah, Brian is busy in here. So you head down towards the bilges of the ship, and uh, you see Marik there in a corner, just busy scratching something into the surface of the ship. And he turns around and like, he's got a tooth missing here, and he's got gold tooth there. He's got wild array of hair, but he gives you a little bit of a crooked smile and says, "Hey, miss, odd place for you to be in, but how you doing today?" I was just feeding Jerry and Barry over here. What you want? Well, I look up something I need to know. Here we go. Where are you? You are that one. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. But yeah, this part of the ship is not well taken care of, but it is at least taken care of. There are several things growing. You can make a perception check. So that's just looking around in general to see if you notice what he's trying to feed. So this is a roll d20 plus 2, so it's 220. Unless you want to make me to make it. But I want to see if we can get any better rolls tonight. Because otherwise we're just going to have a frustrated Lilith all over the place. Yeah, this area stretches the full width of the ship, and for all you can see the full length, at least you, because you've got dark vision, you can see what's going on in this part of the ship. There are no bulkheads above you, and the bottom of the ship is covered with a thick layer of green, greasy water. So you've walked in here, but you're not sure why Henrik is being in here. Not Henrik, what's his name again? Marik. Should probably remember his name. Marik. Merak. Right, there we go. Marik. But yes, Lilith gives him the nicest smile she can try to work her cat charm on. And she greets him politely and says, "Hello, Malik. I was just taking a look around and I thought I could pay you a visit." Right, let's check out how charm works again, as you want to charm him. You attempt to charm a person, humanoid you can see within range. It must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or companions you do anything harmful to it. Charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. So if you want to, you can charm person now. Just tell me you want to use charm person and we'll use it. But Marik turns around. His one tooth glinting in the air. His other one showing off the void that is here. You can also make that perception check to see if you can see what he's doing while he's in that corner, scratching at the deck. You also smell something. You're not sure what you're smelling, but you're smelling a few things in here, and you're starting to to wonder what you've gotten yourself into. I'm sure, but you're here now. You're in this greeny, briny water. Your dark vision again allows you to see black and white, but it doesn't allow you to see much else. But he says, I saw your performance last night. It was interesting. You sure you want ocean breeze? You sure it's a good thing? You know, water is not good for your fur, I think. Yeah. Okay. I think you should maybe try something more your type, right? Hey, what's this? He... I'm not sure what your type is, but yeah. And he starts ignoring you for a second while he goes back to feeding whatever it is in the corner. He starts moving a little bit to the left as he's distracted as you've seen yourself to be. And he starts picking up these red and green and brown things and just tossing them into the water. And you see these bubbles coming up every now and then, just going. And you realize that the two of you aren't the only ones in here. And you see that the water is bubbling and boiling, showing something. I do need you to make that perception check though. So that is a perception is 220. Gamble 220. Otherwise, I could make the perception. But I'm going to wait for a few seconds for you as well. I forget that I'm not supposed to touch the buttons on the side. There we go, we're good. Alright, there we go. 28. Oh. I wonder sometimes if I should start doing these things, but I would love for you to roll really well, but unfortunately, all you see is the back of Merak, and the stench is starting to get overwhelming with the movement of the water, and you realize that this might be the area that the crew members are putting their trash, but you have no idea what has been festering and has been moving around here, and you realize that you are starting to soak through your shoes. You should probably either get out of here or tempt fate one more time. But you know why most of the crew is not talking to Merak at the moment either. It was your best option that you had when you thought of it, but now looking at it again, you're not too sure. You're not too sure he's the most stable person on this deck or the ship at all. Um, but as you decide what to do next, you can faintly hear someone yelling from the top of the mast, way above you, about 20-30 feet above you, and you can feel the movement of the ship lowering and slowing a little bit. So you know you've arrived. Unfortunately, you still haven't found what you're looking for in a man here, but at least it's something. At least you know that the crew members here are a little bit odd. So anything you'd like to do next, scribe? Away. Do 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 do. Bilges. Oh, I also can check something out actually while I'm waiting. I'm very glad I actually looked at. Oh, there we go. She makes the mistake of sniffing the air a couple of times and her fur gets all fuzzy from the smell. Too much for her to handle and she makes her way back. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Yep. She says, maybe this was not the best idea. She gingerly walks away from Merak, and I would agree. Unfortunately, with your investigation, you had chosen the wrong time, the wrong person. You walk back up through the bulges. You see that some of the members have moved, and the ship is starting to dock. The movement around you is also quite hectic. The crew members have started setting sail as you get to the main deck. You see that you have arrived at what you can only describe by smelling, because you're trying to get the smell of whatever stench was below there out of your mouth and your nose and your fur. She says to herself, okay, good to know. As you walked away, Merak was also just content. He said, goodbye, miss. Nice meeting you. You saw that glint again for a second, but you decided better of it. And as you get to the surface, you see that you've arrived in what appears to be a fishing village, a quite large fishing village, with several stone buildings, wooden buildings, just at the edge of the coast. You are in what appears to be a area that I can't remember what the word for it is, but it's like when the sea meets a river. You can see that there is a lot of houses on the side, and you can see activity all over the place. You see several ships, you see several places of merchandise, you see villagers, you see, let me show you what you see. You see Saltmarsh in its glory. So yes, this is basically a map of Saltmarsh. I couldn't unfortunately get a little bit of better thing, but you are currently here at point A. The ship is starting to dock. You can hear the noise and the sound of dock workers. You can see people all over trying to do their job and trying to get the ship ready to dock. You're not in the best spot for landing, but you are at least close enough. And as you're walking past, or as you're standing, sorry, as you're standing looking at the ship being docked, you do hear from behind you the captain saying, "Arr, landlubbers, we be ready for the little." And you hear him getting stopped, getting a little bit of frightened as you look around. You see his wife behind him as well. Both of them, again, these halfling faces are not too. Actually, can I do this? Can I still do this? I want to see if I can still do this. No, I can't. Oh, that's sad. But I'll describe them to you anyway. Um, the captain has got like this big hooked nose. He looks like, almost like a parrot. This tiny, this bow, long hair with a bun behind him, and his wife is a little bit portly and a little bit cheeky, and has got this brownish reddish hair, and she's busy tapping him while he's talking. She's got this. Weirdly enough, she's got this suit, this full black dress on, and this weird cravat thing, and she looks like she's regal, and she's trying to pretend to be something that you know she's not supposed to be, which is entirely contrasting to Captain McBeard, who's got the full-on pirate gear on, this eye patch, this hat, this long flowing cloak, and you know from experience and from the few days that you've spent with him that it's mostly part of what this ship offers. It's the real pirate experience, and that's why he also talks in the arg, mateys, and tries to put in too many args where he shouldn't be putting too many args. But he gets startled by his wife, and she walks up to you with her cravat, looking away, and she's, "I hope you had a wonderful time here, but I must say, you had us all riveted. Really. I wish you and your compatriots a wonderful time here." And again, her accent puts you off, and her style puts you off, because you realize, well, actually, you don't realize, perhaps not. I'm gonna make a, well, let's make a roll for you and see if this at least makes a little bit of sense for you, because I also would like to do a roll. Hey, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You realize that she got the memo wrong. She is not a pirate. She doesn't want to pretend to be a pirate. When she heard McBeard's desires and delights, she had the desire to be a countess. A countess falling in love with vampires and falling in love with the Scandinavian, the Barovian, the the um, the regal sort of state of affairs, and she uses this high accent to think that this is what a pirate's life is, and she gets it wrong all the time. But yep, they tell you that they are almost ready to set sail, or to not set sail, to dock, and you are free to explore the town. They say that your benefactor, Galen Primewater, has not been able to invite you to his mansion, not until the performance later this week. He's still setting it all up, but tonight you are free to perform in any of the two taverns in town. They inform you that it is either the Snapping Line. Let me just check if I got my name right. The Snapping Line Inn or the Empty Net Inn. It's your choice. Unfortunately, you cannot go to the Galen estate, the Primewater estate, just yet. He fears that he is not ready for you. And you've heard rumors, and they do mention it once or twice. Especially Janet McBeard, the lady with the big ruff and this dark set. She coughs. Money bags is up to his tricks again, you know. they greet you when you get off the docks. Is there any particular place you would like to go, as you are free to explore this area, which is quite large and quite busy? Let me see if I can find the description of the docks here while we wait. Do 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 do. Of course, you've got Bob that's also arrived while you look around. He's got most of your things. You've got one or two of your entourage. You could name them yourself. I haven't thought of any names for your entourage, but you do have 2 or 3 members of your crew. They're all carrying your bags with your dresses and your performing gear. And they all walk up to you. Hey, miss, where would you like to set up shop? I don't know much about the town, but I know that we have to get these things out of the way of these people. They look quite busy and they look quite tense. Perform. Lilith takes a big liking towards this place, wondering what sort of treasure she can snatch away. If she doesn't want to waste any time to make money and decides to try to get a place to perform. Right, so you've got 2 choices here. Either the snapping line in or the empty net in. You have no information about exactly what sort of town it is, but you can head towards and ask a few people around quite easily about where any of these places are. Unfortunately, the crew have left you to your devices, so they've already docked and undocked their things. Doop. Let's put you over there. So you are standing here on the dock side, ready to perform, ready to get at least something better than you have been having on the ship. The ship had not the best of people interested in the type of performance, but here you can feel and sense that there is going to definitely be a way and someone interested in it. You can already see a few people actually looking in your direction, starting to whisper, starting to point out the fact that you are not exactly human. And not exactly hiding it either. Your clothes is not really made for hiding it. And you can see them starting to whisper, starting to point, starting to almost tentatively walk up to you to talk to you. But they're also skittish. They're also scared. They've never seen a tabaxi before. They've never experienced it before. And you notice also while you're looking around that this is, again, mostly human. And a few dwarves. You have not seen dwarves in a long time, but there are a few dwarves as well. You also see Annette every now and then putting her hand closer towards you and then taking it away, and then hitting herself and then going back to that position as if she's just trying to stroke your fur. And she's been trying to do this the whole journey. She tempts herself, but she doesn't want to do it, and she tempts herself and she doesn't want to do it. And you realize that she's never even, she doesn't know how to tell you this, but she wants to stroke your fur, which sounds weird, but is interesting. Right, so you've got the empty net, or like I say, asking around, you'll get directions quite easily, but you need to decide which one you'd like to go to, empty net or snapping line to do the performance, or you can just drop right here and start performing to whoever these dock workers are. Not many people are looking at you, but a few are. You could probably get a few copper coins or silver pieces. No, I'm looking for something, sorry. No. Ooh, interesting. She feels both weirded out and flattered by the attention. She thinks about showing her skills when she notices Annette's hand. She turns towards her, asking, "Excuse me, madam, but what is it you are trying to do?" And Janet removes her hand again. Face goes red in embarrassment because the damn word limit. Yeah, I see there's a word limit here. She goes full on red in the face, backs away a little bit from you. I'm I, I I'm so sorry. I I I love furry, cutesy little. No, my word. I should not be this kind of person. I'm being paid for a professional service. I shall uh, refrain. It is my job as the lady of this ship to deeply apologize. I did not mean to offend anyone, but I just had to know the fur, the fur. How does it feel? The fur. How? Why? What? How do you keep it so silky, so smooth? I need to know, my dear. Curse the damn word limit. Yep. Ooh, add that. No, I did the wrong thing. There we go. And as she reaches with her hands again, trying to trying to get that feel. I've I've been trying to get to close to you for several days now, but I did not know if it would be offensive, and I did not know if it would, you know, sour our relationship. So I had to wait until you were, almost gone. Do, do, do. I'm just doing extra things. Lilith checkers at her reactions and leans down towards the woman, deciding to be kind to her for once. Are you trying to say you like furry creatures? If you wanted to feel my fur, you could have asked. Are you? And so she obviously gasps, the face reddening again. It's like, are you absolutely sure, my dear? I I did not wish to offend or anything. It's just. Uh, and she rushes in with after having gotten the permission. She just rushes in and pets and furs and basically squeals like a little girl as she touches you, not inappropriately all over, but at least in several places, noticing your unique white and black pattern, commenting on the softness of the fur and the well-kept nature. She does look down at your feet a little bit and You been down into the ships, have you? Not a good place to be for someone as talented as you are. I would not recommend going back to the ship anytime soon, you know? You need to go clean yourself up a little bit. Seriously, seriously. I loved. I thank you very much, but I loved your fur, and I do love the furry creatures. But that down there, mm, I thought you could do better than that. But it has been a pleasure to touch the fur. I loved it. I loved it so much. Tell me, my dear, what is it that you are looking for in town? I know that Prime Water has been asking around and boasting about you, but I'm sure you must be looking for something else too. While I look for again for this poor thing. That would be hilarious. Berry dragons. Alright, that's okay. You start seeing that your companions have moved their stuff down towards the dock. She starts leading you as well, um, showing you a few of the things that she knows. She's like, that over there, that is the Carpenters Guild. I don't know if you are interested in any of those kinds of nonsense. That there, she shows you your left, is Howland Manor, another one of the nobles in this area. It is not fitting for you just yet. I don't know if you wish to visit these peoples. You know, I think your tastes are a little bit more, mm, dare I say it, pedestrian. But I'm sure you'll make quick friends here. That there is fishmongers. Stinks, I tell you. Is not your place. You know what? I think I'm going to take you to the snapping line. I have a friend there. Hannah Rist. She can take care of you very, very nicely. Yes. And she starts leading you down to the corridor. If you've got no objections, she's going to lead you at least to through the busy streets and through the marketplace, showing you a few of the other places as well. Just talking and stroking the fur as she's gotten the permission now, and she's going to take you down through here. 17, 18. I'm just giving you the this to right here is if you no, I don't think you'll ever need this, but this is the smithy. You can get a few things done in there, but it's expensive, you know. Don't even bother. And yes, that's yes. I need to take you here. I and she starts pulling you down the street as well as she suddenly gets distracted by the noise and the commotion that goes on in this area as you open up into what can only be described as stands and um, these small selling stands. You imagine Skyrim's marketplace. This is exactly what you walk into. You see people selling fish. You see people selling food. You see people selling spices. You see a bunch of people haggling and shouting over each other. The smell of the food is intoxicating. You can't remember when the last time it was that you had some fresh food, as you consistently do eat what is on the ship, and but the you saw the cook on the ship as well, and he was not the best at all. And you start smelling around, looking around, um, as she leads you through the marketplace. Then she eventually, finally, takes you over to where is the place? Here we go. See the snapping line. You hear and see all of the market people. Not anyone too interesting. a few guards walking around, especially here in this market area. You'd seen some patrolling the docks as well, and you realize that this is a place that's quite not well guarded, but a few places and guards are around. You end up here, number 13. Let me just make your token. I can't make your token smaller. That sucks. Can I make your token smaller? Interesting. Let's see. Wee. Nope, I can't. But yes, you see a wooden structure in front of you. Let me change the music again to here. It is almost sunk into this part of the ocean that's now starting to lead into the river. That's just on the other side. A few stilts and a few. This is way too loud for me. Lower, 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 lower. There we go. A few stilts and a few banisters do stick out of the water, and the rest of it is just wood and stone. A mixture of wood and stone, and what appears to be different ships cobbled together. You see that whoever made this inn had at least, where am I now? Some sense of ships. It's a bunch of decommissioned ships just cobbled and stuck together. From the outside, it's a big hull, this protruding front of the ship. I don't know ships too well, so I'm going to just describe it as I see it in my head. A little bit of a statue of a mermaid just staring at the top of the entrance. And a little sign at the bottom saying the snapping line. You see that it's quite busy inside. A few people are already in there drinking and talking. A few sailors and a few fishermen. You recognize them as you spent most of your time in this area. But this is what you see as you enter. I'm not going to be able to move your character through here, but you've got the walkway out here where the fisherman's market was, and you've got this busy tavern with a lot of people inside and a few people behind the bar. What would you like to do? Whee! You have your whole entourage that had followed you. Bob was particularly talkative with Janice as well, although he didn't need to talk to you necessarily. He did exchange quite a few things. He got quite interested when he heard the Carpenters Guild, and he looked over at it a little bit. He was very tempted to leave at that moment, but he knows that he needs to stay with you most of the time, as you have not settled in and as you've not had your fill of the town just yet. I'm sure we're going to get a good roll for you at some point tonight. I really want you to succeed, as you seem to be having a bad day with your performance. You can hear a few people talking and whispering. You'd had quite a few of the villagers that had noticed you at the dockside has started following you slowly, and there are a few whispers in town. The look of the place isn't too appealing, but the not too small crowd draws her in even as she enters the eyes of villagers on her. She'll try her luck here as she feels confident. Okay, great. Yeah, this is unfortunately just a bunch of ships put together. You can see masts, you can see old decommissioned ships. It's smelly, but it smells of fish, which is comforting to you at least. It's also busy. It's almost getting to the afternoon lunchtime rush, but it's not there just yet. But you go in, and the bar immediately goes silent. The place also goes silent, as you are again quite recognizable as non-human. But at least you have Janet with you. And she now stands up, walks confidently and proudly towards one of the people at the bar. As you recognize, this is also a female human, um, a stocky young woman, busy tending the bar, looks up and says, "I need to get this one right." Um, Janet, it's so very nice to see you, my darling. And what have you brought me today? This looks really, really interesting. She walks around the bar. You see that she's quite well built and quite calloused hands. Definitely works a lot in the bar and is well dressed, well proportioned, and well groomed. D&D, you say. Pyro, welcome to the stream. Yeah. D&D. We're trying something new. We're trying to play in a little bit of the characters as chat, and we're also just seeing where the story goes. And so far, we've got Lilith the Tabaxi and Bob the Human in the snapping line, meeting Hannah Rist. Let me get this accent again. Well, I always have to think about this accent for some reason because I try and avoid doing this accent. But yeah, I'm Hannah Rist. Welcome to my establishment. What are you interested in? I have some clove wine. I have some, foods. I see you've got quite an entourage on you. I did not know there was going to be so many of you. I'd heard rumors, but to see you in flesh is wonderful. I had never thought of it possible in my life, but to see such a beauteous thing is amazing. And Prime Water said, he told us, he paid us quite handsomely, but he said to take care of any performers that come in here and make sure they are well taken care of. So you can stay, but you have to promise me that you will perform, okay? I have a room set out for you and your peoples. I did not expect that many of you, but that's okay. That's okay. Go and settle down and get ready, because I expect you to perform really, really nicely. And I expect a little bit of pizzazz, It's always great to have a little bit of pizzazz in your performance. Shimmy, shimmy, shake. Do what you need to do. Okay. I'm going to leave you to it, but it was very nice meeting you. So again, you can describe what you would like to do. I'm just filling the time, chatting, explaining to you what's going on. But you immediately get that Hannah is, or you can see why Hannah and Janet are friends, because they both want to see some kind of performance, and you get the feeling that you've at least chosen a place that wants to see these kinds of things, that's got the feeling, that's got the vibe of desperation and starvation for entertainment. So you're hoping here that you can at least get some kind of a receptive audience. The people drinking here are staring at you strangely. They are talking. All of them are talking. I mean, again, it's the first time that they've seen a cat person, a tabaxi. You hear every now and then a person possibly insulting you. You're not sure, but you hear them whispering some strange thing about your state of being. And especially the clothes you're wearing and the odd company you're keeping. Bob stands out in his green jacket and his hard hat and his overalls. But he tells you, darling, seriously, we have to get you ready for this place. I can already see there's a stage just there. Whoever that thing is that's trying to set it up, ugly, I must tell you. This wood, this decor, it's not for you. It's not for us, but I mean, in a pinch, sure. And he he takes some of your entourage and leads them down into the room that Hannah had pointed towards. Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Anything you'd want to do, Vinyl? Alright, I need to check something quickly. Hey. Alright, we're good. There we go. I was just checking everything's fine here. Oh, the music stopped again, of course. Eep, eep, eep. I forget to change the thing to repeat itself. She should take care of that. I bolt for excitement rushes through. I bolt with excitement, rushing through her. I can't read today. Sorry. A bolt of excitement rushes through her as she hears the request. I will gladly perform for these lovely people here. I promise that I will not disappoint. But she remembers the state of her feet, and she should take care of that. Now remember, you do have a spell called Prestidigitation, which allows you just to clean yourself up immediately. You don't need to go anywhere. This is something that you know innately. So you can cast Prestidigitation at any time. So this spell, one of its 6 abilities, gives you this here. You instantaneously clean or swirl an object no larger than 1 cubic feet. So that's going to be able to clean your clothes and make you smell of anything you wish to smell like. So you can describe how you clean yourself and what you smell of afterwards. You can prepare yourself before even going to the room. You can use Prestidigitation to clean yourself. Then you can use Prestidigitation again to create a scene, an ambiance. You can light candles. You can take candles away. You can make a shower of sparks. You can make wind noise. You can make musical notes with Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation is perfect for you as a bard because it does all of these things. So you need to describe how you would like to clean yourself, how you would like to smell, and how you would set your stage for your performance. Because you, I'm assuming, is immediately telling your crew, alright, go put our stuff away, set up the staging area. We're gonna make the best performance for these fishermen who still look at you strangely, and they also start hearing that, or Hannah walks forward and walks around, starting to say, all right, gentlemen, ladies, we have a special guest for tonight. She has to get prepared, of course, but I can tell you from some of my friends that we need this. Okay, so get ready. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what she's going to perform, but I bet you're going to enjoy it, eh? Free claw wine to the person that yells "ay" or whatever you like to yell. But if you're enthusiastic, you get free claw wine. Okay. And she starts walking through the tables, walking past the customers, and just getting everyone hyped up. And I'm gonna actually do something here. I'm going to try and get her to convince the crowd. So what's this again? There we go. That's the thing I'm looking for. Persuade the crowd. Alright, so let's see if this works. As she starts trying to get the crowd ready for your performance. Where did it go? Why don't there we go. Hey, she doesn't do too bad of a job, actually. So you suddenly see, as most of these are regulars, they do know that when Hannah promises something, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So you see some of these old gnarly fishermen starting to straighten their backs, several teeth missing, scars all over their hands, tattoos, burly men, just sitting up, ordering more beer, talking amongst themselves, but also getting ready for whatever they can. You see a table of dwarves just starting to get louder and louder and cheer as they wait for you to get ready. And you also see one table with a man with a dark cloak around him, not really listening to Hannah, but at least sitting in the corner and observing you tentatively and quietly. So I would like you to describe how you get everything ready, how you clean yourself, what you smell like, what your kind of prestidigitation magic helps you in the performance. And then we're going to roll for the performance check to see how this performance goes. Hopefully it goes well. Boom, 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 boom. So roll. Oh yeah, sorry. Once you've described, roll a roll gamble 230. Actually, yeah. I so want to get your performance to go well, but I don't want to spoil it for you. Mm. Lilith uses the magic to clean up her fur and her still fuzzy fur in general. And she makes it smell like fresh flowers. She finds the stage a little bland, so she also changes it. Looks a lot like a little adding something. All right. Yeah, I mean the stage is quite bland. It's just part of an old crow's nest that's been placed here with still its railings around, and you can see there's old cellos and there's old flutes, but these things have been used and abused over the years. There's no piano, there's only these used instruments. She adds a few feminine decorations from her kit for singing and dancing. She also, so the odor that she's making with this prestidigitation, so after she's cleaned herself completely, she makes this odor of fresh roses and lilacs and scents just floating throughout. So she walks around the table to table just casting this odor, and you can see these strong burly gentlemen suddenly smell up and cough and hack and like Hannah, what is this smell, this odor? But you also go towards the stage, pampering and pampering here and there, adding a rose, adding this ambiance. You can make. I'm going to make that check for you. I'll make you do the performance check, but let's do a decor check. So let's make another. Do. While you talk to them, I'm trying to be detailed, but that word limit is the problem. I know. I don't know how to change the word limit. But that's fine. We're getting there. We're getting there. You might have to just go short sentences for now, and then we'll be able to catch up with each other. I know you're thinking while you're typing, but it might help a little bit. That way you don't have to do the word limit, because it's just going to come up as a lot of sentences. It's going to be a lot easier. Don't worry about that. But yeah, you can quickly do a gamble 230. As you set up the stage, your troupe starts getting the crowd ready. Bob has already started. Actually, how's Bob going to do his performance as well? I need to do a performance check for Bob. He starts getting the bar ready. He tells Hannah, darling, get all of this away. I need you to put. He takes out a few scented candles and a few bushes of roses from his set. He clears a full area around the desk, and he gives you a little bit of a wink as he goes for his role as well. I'll check what your performance is in a second. And you get your voice ready, Scratchiness. I so want you to perform better, but you start doing a dance that you know from your clan has been the best dance performance ever. And you know the moves off by heart, and you know the tapping, and you know the performing, and you've taught these moves to your troop, and they start twirling and swirling around the area, and you see a few people even after Hannah's excellent description, after her hyping up, you see a few people just shocked faces, really weird looks. They'd already been freaked out by the scents, they'd already been freaked out by the roses, they'd already been freaked out by the decor. You see a few of them actually stand up and start moving out, cursing you and really not being happy. A 7 out of 230 is not good, I'm sorry. But there are like... And what's not helping the fact is Bob on the table starting to smash some glasses that Hannah had left behind. And Hannah's face also starts becoming red. She starts looking at you up and down. And she says, "Really? This is the best you've got? I know I promised that you can stay here, but destroying my property is not what I had in mind, okay? I rather think you should." And that, my dear friend, is where we are going to end the session. This is the first half of ERB Treasure. And clearly this is unfortunately not the day for Lilith. And it's not the day for performing in Saltmarsh. But we are going to take a short break over here, as I'm going to get something to eat. About half an hour break, as I quickly am going to grab something to eat. Then we are going to return to the inn. If you are still fine with that vinyl, we are going to do the second half after this. And hopefully you'll be able to recover what you've lost. Unfortunately, the rolls have really not been with us today. I also made really bad rolls for people. Not everyone has left the bar, but most of the people have left. You've got about one sailor still there. Really deaf ears, really clogged nose. He's still going... And you've got that cloaked figure that's still sitting there. Oh, you just stepped on Tengu. Sorry, yeah. We're going to be doing a half an hour break here. We've actually done really well. I'm just going to do a post-game discussion quickly, or recap. We've arrived on a ship with the crew of the Hula Girl Stella, who is a tabaxi cat, and she's hoped to land in Ghost of Saltmarsh to awe everyone with her performance skills, but she's not doing too well. She's also been looking for people to charm, but that's not working either. Let me show you quickly what our Hula Girl looks like. She's a black and white tabaxi, which is a cat person. But she's gone into the Snapping Line Inn, hoping to awe the fishermen of the village with scented candles, roses, and lilacs. And the people have not really been happy with her performance. They seem to be hardened fishermen who's not used to the scent and smell of these foo-foo things. The owner is about to say something, but we are going to find out what she says when we come back in a second. But you have some ideas for the cloaked person. Alright. Yes, exactly. This is where we're going to end the session. Give me a half an hour, guys, and I will be back. And we will see if Lilith and Bob, because both of them had really bad performances, if they're able to recover this, and we will see where ERB Treasure goes from here. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment and a like. I'll see you guys in just a little bit.